In this beginner's guide, I will show you all you need to know to win your first run in Craftlings. So, what's important, guys? I want to first mention that you need to have a look at the map, what's going on here, really go totally to the left and totally to the right to see what is up, which resources are laying around, especially, and just to see what the map is you play in order to also know what your objective is. So, on the abandoned mine, the first real run in the game, you need to gather stone, iron and spears. Stones are basic and iron and spears are kinda higher tech utility. So, the basic of the game is that you want to get first wood always, where you need like a lumberjack and a sapling farm in order to get basically infinite wood, and then to gain a mill, which we have here on this spot, in order to also make logs. On top, we also want to see where the stone is, because you also need always a mining shed in order to get stone. Because stone, logs and wood are like your three main basic resources you will need in every run. On top, it's really worth to mention that you also will need houses in every run. They give you not only more craftlings, so more worker, but also will give you gold and on higher upgrades also more blueprints to build like here more houses. The market is also very useful in every run, and I will explain later why. The last thing I want to mention now is that you should never fight like the skeletons or even higher equipped enemies with like maces here without having at least a spear, which is like this thing. Also, a wizard tower helps you fighting them a lot. Before you have these two things like spear and wizard tower, never fight enemies because it's just way too inefficient. Your mana is also something you always should be careful with using it, because it's like a really rare resource in the game which can have a high impact. Dynamite is good in the game just to get rid of blocks or other trees or just buildings and also material in order to make free paths for your craftlings in order to get more resources or two important buildings. These blocks you can also like replant anywhere you want in order to make like really good paths, which is a bit more advanced of a skill in the game. This lift is getting our dudes to this area where we want to start to farm with the axes. Here also our trees. Then we have here an lift down, so a cargo balloon, which gets into this chest immediately the logs, which we will need to get later the pickaxes here. And always remember guys, only dudes of your craftlings which has no material like wood or stone in the hand can climb the ladder. Now our wood is going. We need next stone and logs, as I said. So we will just let this one guy move down. You can click the ladder and then you can block it completely. Say everybody wants to go here or just up and down. In our case, we just want this guy to go to the bottom level on top. So we let him move down, then we block it, and then we will have two guys on the bottom for like free. Then they can deliver the stones up. We get logs down. And then we need next here also stones and log up to this level. For this, we are using here a cargo lift. And then we can just get it up. And we're saying for logs, because we want to get the logs up. Also, keep always an eye on the little bottle thing in the water to get some extra resources in. Hammers on the game only needed to build the buildings. And on the first levels you have enough, so you don't need to worry about them. Once we lifted up our woods, someone has to pick it up and then to deliver it where you want it. Once you finish a building, you always get a little reward, which can be gold, mines or other things, which are also valuable to, in the early game especially, and just to get things which you don't have to craft, so you can just speed up your run and get valuable resources. Bridges can also just get used like a return thing, so that things you can filter here who can pass here or who not. Your first main goal should be to get your mill up and then to upgrade your town hall with logs. Like this, we have already an infinite wood cycle and also an infinite cycle of getting stones for using the wood, and then just lifting it up with the cargo lift in order to get it to the place where the mill is and where we want it. Automizing things is really good because then you don't have really to have a look onto it so much. It's just getting a good cycle in and you can smoothly advance for the things you really need. Also be careful with what you build of the money side of life in the early game, because money is something you need also to build like the axes and other things you produce constantly. So getting money will be also the next objective in the game. If you're feeling you get like too much logs or too much stones, then you also should probably like cut the production down for a while till you really need it. Elsewise, you could run down on money early on pretty fast, which can slow down your run. Once our mill is done, we want again just get the logs up. Of course, we simply want to make out of wood the logs. So we're getting the wood up, making here the logs, and then we can elevate another time up with another cargo lift just to get here our castle done. I mean our town hall tool. Boom. Not a castle. It comes later. Because these two trees are a bit in the way, I'm simply cutting one of them down. It's useful to save like the axes and pickaxes and not use them instantly, because of the wood thing you can only give them on this stage here the axes, and sometimes I just want to say, hey, I actually do want to cut down this tree especially, and then I need to give him now manually the axe. So we will need like a lot of wood, because we need actually 2 wood to make 1 log. And then we're saying here's the perfect spot to lift this up to the top. And we want to get the planks. So it's called planks. I'm saying logs. You know what I mean, guys, right? On top, you should also make sure that you get the quests done here, which are kind of easy for you, because getting like this gold is also very useful in the early game, so you don't have to kill anything or trade to get more money. So fulfilling quests is definitely also a good objective in general. Shields are getting used, signs are getting used in the game to say who cannot pass through. That means that this sign, no saplings can pass through, and this sign, no one with an axe. That's how you can keep your craftlings in an area where you really want them. Make sure that always the sign angle is where they have to return. So the normal sign out of wood is just saying who has to return in which case. The game is also telling you by the quest what you should do, and that's also something you can kind of guide yourself through the game. Not all of this is really needed, but the gold is usually worth it itself. If you overproduce a bit too much of one resource, you can also use the punch in order to make gold out of the resources. Then you lose the resources, and then you have them free to do other things. Because you get 1 gold back, you also like never make a bad trade with this by overproducing things. Once we have enough planks to upgrade our town hall, we want next to get up the stone to upgrade our 2 houses on top, and to get more money and more craftlings and more buildings like this. For this we have just to change our lifts to the material stone. You just click on it and then you can change it. Once you upgrade, you see what you unlock with it. The next objective is to get the iron mine going, and for this we need meat, which also needs wheat. And for wheat we need actually carrots. So the start is to make the vegetable beds. We're making them especially in a spot where not much else can get builded, like here. And we want to make carrots with this. After we have the carrots, we need the farm. And for the farm, we also do need logs. So I'm a big fan of making the farm also on the mid-level then, because then we can kind of easily get everything done. So we have here a good space, so let's build this also here. It's also pretty efficient on the mid-level because we have already the wood here and can get the logs down also kind of fast. You also do unlock more spells here, which are actually in the early game not too relevant. And always make sure that you also use small stoppers in order that your people don't run into skeletons and die for no reason. So we're getting here some more money in. I'm also checking for the bottles for more additional money from time to time. Like this, you can just zoom out, see where it is probably, and then in again. At the moment, we don't need really stone anymore. I'm actually just closing this here, because we just don't need it. And we will reopen it once we do need more stones. Elsewise, like if you don't do this, at some point all our dudes will have only stones in hand, which we actually can then not use for other things. So that's kind of the reason behind it. So you also have to make sure that you have not a too crazy overproduction of one certain resource you are not actually using really at the moment. But we for sure will need them later. Now we need to get our logs down. For this we can use the balloons, which are kinda expensive. Or we also could just say we want to get the parachute. There you can just get one area down. And with the bubble we could go one area up. In my case I want something more sustainable, because we also need more logs later. So we're just placing this exactly here to get down. And if you actually directly deliver it into like a building, then it will also instantly get picked up without the need of a worker. So that's also something you can automate more to make your life easier. I'm running a bit low on money, and because I simply have a lot of wood and stones, you can simply make more houses, which gives you also more workers, which is pretty nice, and gives you just more money in order to get your run going more. So houses are also really central in the early to mid game, just to get really run going, be smooth and not run too low in the early game. Later the money will not be that important in my opinion, at least not on this map. You can also close and open everything basically if you don't want it to get used, so that you can, for example, let your logs pass through this lift up. Once you build your farm, you get actually 5 pitchforks, which you can use later for upgrading to spears or for early game fights if you want to try your luck on the skellies. Once the farm is built, we need also water plus simply gold to make seeds to then get reed out of it. For this we need to build a well. This also gives you as a reward mana, which is very valuable. Because we have no space to build it, I actually just get rid of one tree with dynamite and then we build our well. And then I'm just making some space to get the well done. Next up we need to build a chicken coop to get our wheat into meat. And here we're doing the same. We're just pumping away some trees which we don't really need, and then we have more space for building. In the box you can, by the way, store up to 10 pieces and you have a small number to see how much you have here. So, and we are already planting here some wheat, so we can also get the chicken coop soon done and then making the meat, which we are needing together with the pickaxes to get the iron mine going, to get iron for higher building structures. Now we will need a lot more stones, so I reopen the bottom one in order to get them. The next thing we have to build is a small armory to make out of our forks some spears, and with them we can then fight actually pretty nice the small skellies. We're building it also like in the mid area, because here we have our wood production, our stones are getting delivered here, and it's just a really nice place for them to get it. We also do need axes now to get meat, and now I'm happy that I have actually here some more axes saved. Elsewise it would be kind of hard to get my axes now from this lumber mill through the trees all the way here. Because you have to chop down the trees first before this guy can go with the axes actually here. So we would need to literally cut down our sapling production, get all the trees down, and then also just need to move them here. So we have our first meat, and now we have to get the meat also down here. But first we need to clear the skellies to be able to get there. Now we have enough stones for now, so I'm cutting this stone production again, and we want to put everything into literally this nice armory, and then we can also get finally some money production going. Once our small armory is done, we also get like 25 gold, which is like really a lot. And then we want to make here out of the forks and a log actually one spear for now. So we let one guy deliver here the fork, and then the spear can go on. And now we're kind of rich with 50 gold just because we built a freaking armory. We're also building now a market, because this will be also a very good way to get money in. Once the spear is done, we can just collect it and get it down into our menu and can give whoever we want this spear. Now I will actually start fighting to open up here the iron mine, and we're just giving this guy the spear, which is already pretty good. Because we have a lot of mana, we also want to mana bless him to give him more accuracy chance to fight, and then we should easily win it. So you see we have 3 HP, he has only 1 damage, 1 HP, so we should win this easily if we don't get like, you know, completely trolled from the game. The fights can be kind of long, but yeah. And now we win. And always keep in mind, guys, that once you fight at someone, you lose your weapon, so there are, as all other things here, like the forks and the axes and the hammers, are all one-time use. So choose wisely when and to which you want to give them. We're building now a market down here, because this is a really good thing to literally just get money in for really efficient things, because the skellies are dropping 3 bones, and the bones are like very strong for trading, so you can just make money out of the bones like crazy. Now we want to get the meat down here, so I will just make one balloon, doing it exactly here, and then we can just deliver it down. I want it just to be like as near as possible to our iron mine. And we want only the meat. Boom. Then our iron production can actually begin. Then we have already iron, we can make spears, and need only stones, which we will get from this pile. So we have to kill this guy, which is actually really strong, and that's why we also need to get a wizard tower, because this wizard tower will make our fights actually better. So we're like nearly there, guys. I can also show you how the bubble works, or the parachute. You can just play it onto them, and then the guy will just fly. Oh, that was the wrong one. And then the guy will just fly down. Also through actually structures. Same for the bubble, just upwards. And also keep in mind, guys, is if there's like bones in the way, and someone with nothing in their hands will go there, they will automatically grab the bones. So they can also be in the way actually, that you have to mine them first down, because you can't really destroy them. You could only build like boxes above them if you don't want to mine them. And then you could just like say, okay, they go over it, so you don't have to collect them. In our case, we want them just to trade. Then we can say iron needs to get delivered on top now. So we're making everything just to iron, then we can deliver it completely to the top. And then I'm just making here, honestly, a small thing that we can get here our castle with the iron delivered. And because we're really rich, and I also will need actually more logs, I will actually make another lift up just for wood, because we're rich on money, and then we can just afford to do it. The market gives us also 50 gold just for building, and then we are just saying bones, we sell them for 30 gold each, which is like, you know, really a lot. So 30 gold, boom, in. We're building also just a wizard tower on the bottom, because we need stones, and also we do need the iron, which is just on the bottom. So it makes the most sense to play it here, because it's a global effect. Yeah, and we have like 130 gold, which is like just completely insane. And this only for killing one skelly, and each skelly gives 3 of the bones. So that's like by far the best way on this level to make any money. Because now we don't have to worry about money like at all anymore. The last step will be to beat this guy and to get these stones because then we have enough stones to just make the stones here also happy and ready. For this, we are literally just saying, okay, we don't want to fall down here later, so make just a block and a stopper. And then we will literally just bomb down with the dynamite to this guy. So we're just saying, okay, want to go exactly this way here. Boom, in order to get here. Once our wizard tower is done, we will get here a lot of mana and debuff, which gives us more accuracy on our attacks. And now we are ready actually to try to fight this guy. So we're just saying here, okay, both of our dudes getting a spear, because one guy will most likely be not enough. So we are saying we are buffing him on top. And then our opponent has 4 health, we have 3. We instantly hit, that's pretty good. And let's see if this will be enough. If we're lucky enough or not. We're speeding it up a bit. Okay, it would be really lucky. Yeah, it was not quite enough. So that's why we are also just saying, as expected, we need one more guy. And then we should get this guy down. Also, if you kill someone who has actually a weapon, he will drop it and you can grab it. So you kinda get stronger by deleting him. And now we want to get these stones. So we open up this here to deliver it also here, where we have already nearly the iron done and we also have a good spear production already. And what's the best way, guys? Yeah, guess what? We will actually just get it up in like a pretty cool way, because we have a lot of blocks and can also even get more blocks. So we're just saying actually we make a really cool fast thing to get the stones up, and I'll show you also a cool build for the game like this. So we're just collecting honestly all the blocks we can get. Not quite sure how much I will need. So I get like all the freaking blocks in the world here, which are not that many, but we also collected some from just... Yeah, we can also get like this here. Boom. And then I'm saying I just want to get here instantly up and come like here. So we're just bumping this whole array. Bam, 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 bam. And we're bumping also this array, because we have so many dynamite, we can just do it. And then the idea would be that we're just saying everybody wants to walk from the left to the right. And is then going up like this. We have enough blocks for it. And then we are saying also here. Okay, then we're just saying, okay, we have to do this like, and then like this. Now, does this will this work? So then they can go to the left side, to the right side, and then they should go bam, 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 because they have here blocks. But I think, I'm not sure if the end works here, honestly. Yeah, but wait, we don't need any other blocks. Yeah. And then we can just open this up and say they go down, and then we have like actually a complete cycle here. Which is also the first time I'm doing it like this actually, which sounds pretty cool. And now we have like actually, believe it or not, a full automated circle of making actually literally everything we want. We can make a shit ton of wood, stone, iron, meat, even planks, and deliver everything to the castle we want. The only thing we have to do manually kinda are like the spears. And then we can just speed up the game and have an easy time, because we have enough money like that we don't need to do anything else. Like, watch this shit, guys. Doesn't this look beautiful? And it's way faster, obviously also. It's way faster than using like any lifts. at least of this stage here. Yeah, actually we have to do it like this, else it wouldn't work. But like this, it's really full automated, full circle. And this is how you win, guys. If you enjoyed watching, subscribe now to see more insane builds.